Level 78, the ladder. Alphinaud's eyes glisten with joy. The ladder is situated to the north and west of right. Let us make our way there. Dost thou see yonder pair of talos? I dost do. For a blessing they were found to be in good repair. Master Chai prepareth to activate them as we speak. With our arcane knowledge, Ishtol and I serve as his assistants. At the appointed hour we shall imbue the golems with ether. Others, meanwhile, attend to the ladder itself, which hath too long lain neglected. Extensive maintenance will be needed ere it can move again, as well as myriad materials with which to perform it. If thou art willing, we would prevail upon thee to procure lumber. So I've been here in trying to get the ability to fly, but it is blocked by this wall, which they did in the last expansion. So totally common, but it was annoying at the time because I wanted to fly here. My thanks. Directly to the south thou wilt find a dry dock Venmount Yards. Pray see if you canst persuade the folk there to part with some lumber for our cause. Lumber. Ho there, sinner! Haven't seen you around before. New to Gate Town, I take it. If you need lumber for a shack, you've come to the right place. We can do the building for you too, though that'll cost extra. You want lumber to restore the ladder? Why in the world would anyone want to do that? If you don't have the coin, the least you can do is come up with a believable excuse. But look, I'm not one to turn folk away. I'll give you your lumber if you do me a favor in return. Wouldn't that be nice if you just went to Walmart and be like, I want some milk, and they're like, hey, if you do me an errand, I'll give you milk. All the milk you want. I just finished taking stock of our supply and was about to do another round for good measure. I want you to do the counting instead, and we'll see if your total matches mine. Now some of the lumber is lying about the yard, but most of it is kept in the storehouse. For these, you can just ask Griffel for the number. Here, I'll lend you some writing materials so you can take some notes. Take stock of the supply of lumber at the shipyard. What you learn can be viewed in your key items. Hey, taking stock for Irvis, are you? Well, last I counted, we had 68 planks in the storehouse here. 9 of those were rotted through, though, so we tossed them out. Oi, Griffel, another load's just arrived. 13 planks all told, but one's damaged. It's only good for kindling now. Right then, bring the good ones here. Be sure to let Irvis know as well. If that was Irvis. So, how many planks does that make now? You're writing down these numbers, right? I'm sure you can work it out. I'm not gonna ask him, because I already wasn't a thing. 24. Bet you didn't realize there's gonna be math. This is why you took all those years of grade school. So I was like 20, 30, 100. For sure it's like 100. Oh my goodness. 103. $106. Yay! You're serious about the ladder? I'll help. We're shipwrights with no ships to build, only shacks. While it's a living, we all itch to do something greater. This fellow you say is in charge. You reckon he'd mind the likes of us barging in on this project? He'd welcome the help. Wonderful. I'll round up the lads and lasses and we'll head over to the ladder, along with all the lumber you need. Ah, thou art returned. Wert thou able to procure the lumber? Well, well, to secure not only the material, but the eager cooperation of the shipwrights besides. Their expertise shall greatly avail our efforts. Master Chai's own efforts have not been without struggle, but he hath proven himself to be a determined soul. I doubt not but that the work shall be complete ere long, and we may continue on our way once more. Though it hath been years in the making, at long last do the people stand united in defiance of the world's fate, their hopes spurring us ever onward towards journey's end. Whatsoever may await us, when thou takest those final steps, I pray that it shall be with a smile upon thy face. You know, he was talking about Emmett, was about us not really being alive, and he's right. These bodies right now are kind of fake because our real bodies are on a different planet. Ah, but prematurely do I give myself to sentimental musings. Many more pressing concerns demand our attention, not the least of which is the matter of how we might reach the mountain. Detached from the land, that is. Yeah, what good is a ladder going to do if it's, like, in the air? For the present, 'twould appear we have matters here well in hand. Perhaps thou shouldst take thine ease for time. Thou wilt need every ounce of thy strength for the trials ahead. There's a trial ahead? What do you mean? I'm gonna rest right here by this box, because you guys are always telling me to rest.
Would you look at that? The citizens of Yulemore engaging in what can only be described as manual labor. Who would have thought it possible? Do you know the most reliable way to deal with those who stubbornly refuse to see reason? You conquer them. Crush them under heel. Such was the trusted method of Alec, and one still favored by Garlemald. But conquest is the easy part. The true challenge begins once the dust has settled, quenching the glowing embers of animosity and maintaining a semblance of peace. This requires the conqueror to treat the conquered with dignity, and the conquered to let bygones be bygones, a difficult feat to achieve. But you have achieved just that, to my considerable surprise. It's a compliment. Take it. Ah, the vibrant energy that fills the air when like-minded souls gather. To think back on that time before time, fair brings a tear to the eye. What? You thought ancient beings like us incapable of crying? Well, rest assured that if your heart can be broken, then so can mine. Back when the world was whole, we had family, friends, loves. Men knew peace and contentment, and with our adamant souls, we could live for an age. There was no conflict born of want or disparity. Our differences paled into insignificance next to all we had in common. And then there was Amarok. Never was a city more magnificent. From the humblest streets to the highest spires, she fairly gleamed. Not that you would remember any of this. Never mind. The point is, the world of old was a far better place than what we have now. I believe you would like it, having witnessed the things you have. Remember, you are of the source. Unlike the half-men here, you stand only to gain. Should you survive the remaining calamities, you will become our equal. A complete existence in a complete world. But such talk is a pleasure for later. Back to work, hero. Ah, there was one thing I had meant to ask. How well do you know the Exarch? Has he ever deigned to show you what hides beneath the cowl? What? Never? Even to you? How very interesting. I shall enjoy working out what it means. Until next time.
I knew you could do it, dearest. I never doubted you for a moment.
It's alive. I don't know if you remember, but when we first met in this world, I was all but spent. I never thought to wonder why until now. I think it all just got to be too much. The guilt of causing the flood. Knowing everyone hated me. But the worst thing was the solitude. Time wears you down, aye. But solitude eats away at you. It was this close to finishing me off. But as bad as it got, and as empty as I felt, I can't even begin to imagine what it must be like for Emmett's son. All of which is a long way of saying, don't make a choice that leaves you alone. Nothing is worth that. Especially not eternity.
Glad tidings, my friend. The ladder lives again.
The three of us have been invited to do the honors. Are you up for it? Of course, if you're worried that the whole thing might come crashing down, we can always find someone else. That's the spirit. Come on, then.
We rode the ladder too, my comrades and I. Once upon a time. Watch the horizon grow, and the town shrink below us. Awed and terrified in equal measure, we ascended without a word, the silence broken only by the rhythm of the gears. No one but me remembers that day. Remembers our journey and our end. Retread the path. Seek, and you may yet find.
That was kind of depressing. So, we could be Asians this whole time. We just need to join our body with one more world or something? I wonder, for people who played this game before it was this game, maybe that's what makes us Asians. And then the world was reborn. Because it was boring. Because it was unplayable. Because it was not fun. Here we are, finally the top rung. The others should arrive ere long. I'm up here, there's something I need you to see. What could this be about? So when this game first came out, it was riding off of Final Fantasy XI. And Final Fantasy XI had a problem with people being addicted to it really badly. There were news stories of people actually forgetting to feed their children and killing their kids. It was bad. It was super addicting, completely all-consuming, and so they made a new MMO. And this MMO was designed that you weren't allowed to play more than 30 to 60 minutes a day. And people hated it. They came on, there was only a couple of guild houses to do, and you couldn't level even killing animals. There was nothing to do. It was super boring, and everyone quit just because there's literally nothing to do. It just was not a complete game. And they took it down, deleted everyone's characters, everyone's stuff, everything, and they completely revamped it to this really great world that you can binge on and spend way too much playing and leave your family behind and play a video game. But it's not as intense as 11 was. I say was because 11 got really, really easy. But 11 used to be super hard, super amazing. You worked your butt off, but you also, you could go in for these little roulettes and stuff. It was a huge event, super time consuming. I always have in my head that I once fought a dragon for 8 hours. People literally left, took a nap, got something to eat, and like 30 people gathered just to fight a dragon in one FC. Only there it's called a Link Show. There's a village over to the northeast. So there is, yet after 2 decades without a ladder in operation, I would not be surprised if such an isolated settlement had not long since been abandoned. Nor I, but that was before I spied someone leave it and proceed to head out in our direction, all the while trying to remain unseen. Whoever this mysterious person is, they should still be out there. Go on and take a look. So yeah, before this version of this game came about, it was really awful, really boring. The stories were not there. I feel like there wasn't even a main story. It was that bad. Use my mouse. My mouse is so much easier. Do you see the person? I'm pretty bad at this. Get closer to ourselves. Well, clearly they're right here. Find the mysterious person from the village spying in your direction. It's the village. Where are you, person? Man, really? Should help to back up. Oh, see, now look, I told you. They're right below us. I located them. Let's go chase after them. Be irritating. See, I do think the story of Laura is we lived in that world. It was too dang boring. So we had a quote-unquote calamity. Destroyed it. Just destroyed the world. Literally. Because we all lost our characters. We all lost everything we had gained. And they took the game down and they completely remade it. So they made it so that the world did literally get destroyed. And now we have like 8 worlds, right? There's someone right there spying on us. Personally, I don't feel comfortable not knowing who they are. What do you say we investigate? I'm curious too, I must admit, and I dare say we have a bit of time ere the others ascend. Settled then, let's head to the village and see if it's indeed inhabited. Are they really not noticing that I'm talking to an invisible friend and motioning them to hop on board and do stuff with me? I mean, you know, come on. Investigate the village. Is this village? There's no red dot. Oh, there it is. So many active taluses just waiting to be owned and commanded. So much Eoline. Eonine? We've really got to get these back to that place. Twine. Don't you just love when someone comes to your settlement and just rifles your stuff just to investigate? You hear faint sounds inside the building, however the door refuses to budge. Probably a body being pushed up against it because you're frickin' nosy. Victuals. Looks like sausages. Food is hanging in the sun to dry. Quite recently. Brutalis. Alright. Where is the third area? Alice, it's so rude, just shoving her nose in someone's bedroom window. Ugh. Can you imagine if someone did that to your house? So obviously I can walk into one of these buildings and I just didn't. Anything here? No. Outside? No. There's a door to here? Yes. Locked. Maybe I just pushed harder. Okay. Oh. It's gonna be always the last place I look. Again, someone's been drinking. Behind the counter, a kettle bubbles steadily over the stove. It's clear these people want nothing to do with us, and we just rifled through their stuff. Were you able to find anything? People are definitely living here. Indeed, while there's no one to be seen, 'tis plain that this village is anything but abandoned. If the villagers are trying to conceal themselves, they are doing a rather poor job of it. If they don't wish to be seen, what are we to do? Sometimes people don't want to be bothered. I say, aren't you the ones who saved my life? You're Tristal, the artist from Yulmore. You remembered. Ever since we parted ways, I've worried for you, bound for the city as you were. Never did I imagine that we'd meet again, and here of all places. We could say the very same thing to you, my friend. I'm glad to see you hale and whole, but tell me, what is this village? This is Amity, a settlement made up of those who survived being exiled from Yulmore. As I wandered the wilds, I chanced to cross paths with an inhabitant of these parts. He took me through a secret tunnel which led me to the top of the bright cliff. I've been here ever since. Life is hard, but we know a semblance of peace. Well, we did, at any rate, until Mount Gold broke away from the earth. Then, just as suddenly, the ladder started moving again. And you feared whoever was coming up would threaten your lives. Aye, but I see now there's no cause for concern. Will you tell me what has brought you here? Obviously that big-ass mountain over there. I did have a friend tell me that they were going up a mountain, and then they're like, I think we have to fight the mountain. So, Vothri is a sin-eater, and he's fled to Mount Golg. It's a strange tale, but I have no reason to doubt your words. I owe you my life. If there is anything I can do to help, you need but say the word. Your help would be most welcome, Tristal. To begin with, we request your people's permission to reconnoiter the area. We are to confront Vothri. If we are to confront Vothri, we must find a way to reach Mount Golg. Of course. You hardly need our permission to be here. I will tell the others about you and yours. Now, we haven't much to offer in the way of hospitality, but our village is at your disposal. Please use it as you see fit in your quest. New coffer! High mithril weapon coffer. Coffer. This was actually pretty abandoned, except for that guy. Yet another hapless soul that Alphinaud saved from mortal danger, I see. Some things never change. At any rate, it seems that brother has a mind to linger. Meanwhile, I have a mind for us to explore. We're going to go scout out the area. We'll be back in a while. Oh, very well then. Just take care out there. Depending on where your mount is from, is the music that you hear. It's kind of a way to listen to the old areas. The path diverges. Let's split up so we can cover more ground. I'll go east if you would be so kind to head west. We can aim to meet at the foot of the mountain, taking note of what we see along the way. Given jealousy. Ow! It's an interesting creature. Stabbing me to death.
You're a sight for sore eyes. I don't know about you, but I bumped into quite a few sin eaters out there. You too, then. It seems the closer we get to Mount Gulg, the more of them there are. Looks a lot bigger from here, doesn't it? If I were Vorthri, the first thing I'd do is surround myself with as many sin eaters as I could lay my hands on. And judging by the number we've already faced, his lordship is of the same mind. This is going to be a tough climb. But first things first. We need to determine if climbing is even an option. The more I look, the less likely it seems. Y'shtola is right to be worried. But flying may be our only choice after all.
There you are. Master Alphino was afeard you had met with some misfortune.
Urianger. And you too, Exarch. What brings you here?
I wish to observe the final struggle with my own eyes. I arrived at Bottom Rung too late to accompany you, but I was in time to join Urianger and the others. Come, let us see how this unfolds.
Well, it seems flying is off the table.
If we have learned that much, then the Machina have served their purpose.
Ah, so that's what they were for. Wasteful, but effective.
It would seem our foe will not be reached by land or air. We must needs withdraw to consider another course. Master Alphino waiteth for us atop rung. Thither should we make our way.
I didn't expect to see the Chais here, though I suppose it's well within their rights. I love the Chais. Julia is also one of my favorite characters. At any rate, it's time to tackle our next little obstacle, finding a way to reach Mount Gold. For this, we're going to need to put all our heads together. We'll get high mithril chest gear.
In short, there's no path, and the sky is thick with Vorthri's winged devils.
We might consider Amaro. But without extensive training, we cannot hope to contend with the Eaters. Yulmore's airship fleet, meanwhile, consists solely of transport vessels ill-suited for battle. And without the expertise of one such as Cid, we are in no position to attempt a refit.
Oh, it's so frustrating! That wretched mountain should jolly well come back down to us!
Now, dearest, we mustn't disturb these good people at their work. We've ridden the ladder and seen the sights. It's past time we took our leave.
The lady may well have the right of it. Mount Gulg will not soon come down to Earth, nor can we compel it to do so. But if the mountain will not come to the land, mayhap the land may be made to come to the mountain. In the form of a Talos. A Talos large enough to reach out and take the volcano in its grasp.
To build such a golem would be an onerous undertaking indeed. Yet the principle seemeth sound in itself.
Balderdash! No one has ever made one even half that size. Leaving aside the small matter of logistics, which, by the way, would be no small matter, the design would be unimaginably complex. Though, I suppose, if its only function is to cling to the ruddy mountain, perhaps it needn't be. A solid base, firmly rooted to the ground, sacrifice mobility to simplify the construction, reducing materials required. Wait, what am I thinking? We would still need a veritable army of people to do the work. Left to the crew that helped down below, it would take decades, if not a nice round century.
So we need more hands. And what sort of things would these hands be required to do?
Well, let's see. First, we'd need people to procure the stone for the chassis. The rock found in the mountain would suit our purposes well enough. It'd be a simple task to quarry the stuff, but given the stupendous quantity required, we'd need all the help we can get.
We have friends amongst the miners of Armoring. I will go and petition their aid.
While you do that, I'll make for Mordsuk. I'm sure I'll be able to drum up some support.
Then I shall return to Calusia. From fishers to carpenters, Yulmore is home to all manner of talented folk. I dare say their skills will avail us.
Is there anything else you need?
Well, yes, actually. Magic. Lots of the stuff, as much as possible. To awaken a talus of this size would require an entire congregation of mages.
Many among the Knights Blessed are gifted in the arcane arts. I will recruit them to our cause.
The Fey folk, too, possess surpassing aptitude in magics. Yet they are not wont to cooperate in the endeavors of men. Leastwise, not without making all manner of mischief. That being the case, I would instead call upon the people of the Crystarium, with thy permission, Exarch.
We are at your disposal, as are our Amaro and Chocobos.
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me you can call on not only the people of Yulmore and the Crystarium, but the Knights Blessed and the Maud, and even those miners? But that's just about everyone in Ballynorvrand. Who are you people? And how did you come to have so many friends?
Saviors of the world. We're nobody.
No import? You expect me to believe that after you just promised me the help of the better part of the world?
So, as you can see, you will not want for bodies. I trust you will have your design ready in good time for their arrival. Norvrant is counting on you, heir to Daedalus Stoneworks.
We'll be back as soon as we can, and we'll bring the whole world with us.
I take it we will be assisting Master Chai, though I am quite sure he has everything under control.
Have the design ready, she says. In good time, she says. Does she even understand what's involved? Before I can even attempt to design anything, I need intimate knowledge of the land. The knowledge of locals. Last I heard, no one lives here. What? A village of Yomoran exiles? But those people have every reason to loathe a free citizen like me. They couldn't possibly be willing to cooperate. This will never work. Never. I never should have fixed that Rudy lift. Never should have ridden it up here. Never should have. Never should have. Oh dear, darling. Perhaps it appears to have lost the plot. But he has it in him. He's the cleverest man I know. He just wants for confidence sometimes. If you're to give him some words of encouragement, I'm sure he can give you your talus. A bit of advice I learned from his mother. He responds poorly to obvious praise. You'll need to find another way to stroke the fires of his motivation. Awaken his sense of daring. Choose words that will best encourage Chinese. In order to succeed, you must lift his spirits sufficiently during the conversation. He is plagued with self-doubt. I can't do it. No one can. A talus of that size? No one's even dreamt of it. Oh. Julia is counting on you as well. I know. You hardly need to tell me that. Do you think I'd disappoint her if I could help it? Regardless of my own feelings, I can't do a damn thing without help from those villagers. And they're not Bali likely to give it? Trista's among them. You said so yourself. Lest you've forgotten, we essentially sent him to his death. Even if the others don't bear a personal grudge, he would never forgive us. Don't worry, he'll forgive you for sure. How can you make such blithe claims without proof? You're either naive or you think I am, and I most certainly am not. But whatever you say, in the end, it's not even a question of forgiveness. Building such an enormous talus is impossible, and no amount of contrition will change that. And even if by some miracle the people of amity were willing to let bygones be bygones, they think that the plan is absurd. I think it's absurd. It's less absurd than the change that's come to Yulmore. We liberated a castle with a strategy that many would call absurd. Everything you touch turns to gold. No one would doubt your plan. I kind of assume the middle one's always going to be the right answer, but isn't that one the middle? Well now, to flood the very castle you sought to reclaim, such a strategy could indeed be considered absurd, yet you succeeded not in spite of, but because of it. Our own strategy may likewise seem absurd, but maybe, just maybe, it stands a better chance of success for it. It's having some misgivings. But, be that as it may, there are risks to consider should the venture fail. I imagine for a moment that we fail to reach Bothby, and only succeed in provoking him. In his fury he may well unleash his hordes of eaters, and will meet a horrible end. I'll protect you. I protect everyone. You could build a talus for battle. Then we'll go together. I'll protect you. I see what you did there. That's how you win over the masses, with that irrepressible aura of dependability. But very well, you've made your conviction clear, and I'm assured in spite of myself, I won't let my fears get the better of me. It's unseemly, if nothing else. It's feeling somewhat optimistic. Still, I find it astounding that you can have such certainty given the circumstances. Tell me, why did you throw yourself in the midst of such a grueling struggle? I got roped into it. Protect those I love. Indeed, what else could compel us to face such dangers? I too have someone I wish to protect, with whom I want to live out my days in peace. It's burning with motivation. There's this new app out that I read about. It's basically how to teach people how to manipulate people to do things in a conversation, and it's pretty awful, in my opinion. Yes, by the gods, I can do this. I just need to have a little faith in myself. Right, let's head to Amity and speak with the villagers, with Tristal. My love, things are liable to become more dangerous. I want you to wait for me back in Yulmore. No, wherever you go, I'm going too. Besides, you're not the only one who has to apologize. But there's no telling what may happen out there. I don't know if I can keep you safe. Perhaps this is a bad idea after all. I don't think I have what it takes. Master Chai, that you are beset with doubt is proof that you can envision the task ahead, and that which man can envision, he can make reality. Thus did some old friends of mine once say. Even though it be a feat fit for the divine, if something has been done before, then it most assuredly can be done again by our own hands. That's a little idealistic, don't you think? Perhaps, Master Chai, perhaps. But what is man if not an idealistic creature? It's not an easy thing to achieve one's dream. My friends can attest to that. Countless times do they meet with frustration in the course of their endeavors. None would have found fault with them had they given up, yet they never did. One step after the next, they forged on towards their goals. And for their determination, they accomplished numerous feats that many believed lay beyond the reach of mankind. Like them, you are a man of science. Amidst your doubts, surely there's a spark of desire to make the impossible possible. Come, darling, like the old days. I'll be the first to see your Talos. And you shall be, my dear. I would have none other at my side when my greatest masterpiece awakens. Right then, to Amity. I love that they love each other so much. And her egging him on sounds like nagging, but she's actually making him a better man. And I'm glad my words struck a chord, shall we? So who do you think Exarch is? I actually have no idea. Like, I swear his crystal disease is getting worse. But I always thought, like, Thancred. Of course, we all are kind of being led to believe that he's actually evil. I really have no idea. And I'm liking Emmett, so that probably shows that I have bad judgment. Looks like he's hugging that pole. But yeah, I feel like his crystal disease, like in Game of Thrones, how they had that stone disease that eventually crawled over their body. Maybe he is the Crystal Tower in man form. Hey, we've got quests here we can do now. People have been really good about not giving away spoilers. You have every right to be angry with us, but please listen to what I have to say. I am tasked with delivering these people to Mount Gog by means of a Talos of heretofore unseen proportions. However, I cannot do this without the cooperation of those with intimate knowledge of this land, that is, you and your fellow villagers. Cooperation? After you ignored my desperate pleas and cast me out, you have the gall to come here and ask for my cooperation? You've every right to be upset. Valthry's not the only one to blame for your suffering, we are. We were free citizens without a care in the world, indifferent to the hardship of others. We didn't know what would become of you, and frankly, we didn't care. But we know now that what we did to you, to full many, was wrong, terribly wrong. No words will suffice to make amends. But I want you to know that we are deeply sorry. I'm not sure how I feel. Should I forgive you, hate you? Perhaps it's not even my place to judge. After all, I sought a place in your city. I wanted to be you once. But one thing is clear to me. All of that is in the past, and we mustn't let past wrongs stand in the way of a brighter future. And so I will cooperate with you. Please see our friends to Mount Gog. You have my word. I'll set to work on the design at once. Wouldn't do to have nothing to show the others when they return with help. Make no mistake, this venture is unprecedented in the history of Talos building, in the history of all mankind. But rest assured, this genius of Daedalus Stoneworks will deliver. So shall I open up this chest so we can see what it looks like? Aye, wicked white! Is there a problem? Well, you see, I've been promised people to procure the stone as well as imbue magic. When I was put on the spot earlier, I thought that was all we required. But I forgot about one rather important item needed to bring a talus to life. Its heart? The heart? We're gonna need a really big heart. That's right, the heart. I'm pleased to see you have some familiarity with talus. So while I work on the design, I'd be much obliged if you could see to procuring the ore with which to fashion a heart. A heart suitable for bringing to life a talus that shall embrace the very firmament. We could just take the hearts of these guys. Meet the thalls. Ha ha ha. Leg gear. If you seek material for the talus's heart, I know people who may be able to assist. They are the thalls, a dwarven family that have long mined this land. No one knows its bounty as well as they. If you explain your situation, I'm sure they will be willing to cooperate. Indeed, 'twas one of them that showed me the secret tunnel to the top of the cliff. You'll find the thalls at their village to the northwest, a place called Tamra. When you arrive, seek an audience with Chief Zamat, and do not forget to greet him with a hearty lally-ho. Permit me to join you. I would keep my joints limber, and mayhaps I could provide some manner of assistance. I'll leave the heart of the two to you then. I'll leave the heart to the two of you then. The variety of ore doesn't matter as long as it's rich with ether. I'll aim to have my design complete by your return. Alright. Dwarves are nothing like Lalas, but I guess in this world they are. But I've never... Lala is my favorite. I've never considered myself, you know, like the Lord of the Rings type of dwarf. So this is Tamra. Seldom do we see the dwarven folk at the Crystariums, to now be in the presence of so many. I shall enjoy not having to crane my neck for a change. Lolly-ho! Say it. What'd you just call me? Lolly-ho! Lolly-ho! Ah, rousing greeting. You've clearly been practicing. Any road, now that we've observed common courtesy, who are you, and what are you doing here? At the recommendation of the denizens of Amity, we have come to seek the aid of the Thal family. May we speak to Chief Zamat? Why, yes, you may. I am Zamat, and I bid you welcome to Tamra. If it's the folk of Amity who sent you here, you must have quite a tale to tell. Come, let's hear it. I like him. Straight to the point. Straight shooter. Well, well. There I thought those below had no fight left in them. Having said that, it's not like we know how to deal with that floating volcano and all them sin-eaters neither. If you're serious about restoring peace to these parts, though, we'll gladly lend you a hand. However, the kind of ore you seek's precious to us too. If I let you have it, only for you to bungle things up and squander it, like no amount of ale will wash away my chagrin. First, I need to make sure you're worthy, by means of a trial. Yeah. A trial most tricksy passed down through the line of Thal. And what is this trial? Come with me and I will tell you all. Listen well. As you know, we're a minded folk, and in the mine of life, danger is a constant companion. So when we come of age, each of us must prove our readiness to take to the mines. This we do by undertaking a trial, what tests the 3 traits all good miners can't do without: discernment, diligence, and dexterity. We call it 3D Mine Runner. Now look on my helm. Mark its features well. You'll be given a slingshot, which you must use to shoot dwarves, as where helms are different. Right? It's green, horned, gold filigree, 2 feathers in his cap, left one skinnier than the other. I've already made the necessary arrangements. When you're ready to take the trial, report to the observer nearby. Best of luck to you. That's that. Green, gold filigree, 2 gold horns, 2 feathers, a green little nip on the top. Do I need to know anything about the back of your head? I can't see the back of your head. Nope. Okay. Too close. Lolly ho! You must be the challenger the chief mentioned. I'll show you to the rooftop at once. As I'm sure you've been told, in 3D Mine Runner, use a slingshot to shoot them as wear the wrong helm. Let's begin with a spot of practice, eh? Search for the dwarf wearing the wrong type of helm, and slingshot them. As this practice, look at the dwarves. They have to like pop out of the thing. I gotta use my mouse. Nice shooting. Keep it up in the actual trial, eh? Okay. Got it. Aye, that's the way. Next time it's a trial for true. Let me know when you're ready, eh? That's just to distract me from his green and gold helm. This time, there'll be them that wear the right helm. You shoot them, you fail, so look carefully before you let the stone fly. Now my controller doesn't have the A and the green, it's just black. Oh, I can't see that good. Come back. So right kick moves me. You know what? You were supposed to hit me. I thought his feathers were black. No! I could have sworn his feathers were black. I failed the trial. It's the end of the world. We've all died. Well done. Fine show of discernment dexterity. There's only one? Well done, well done. The trial never lies. You've got what it takes to be a miner. Oh, this is awkward. I thought it would be way harder. Run along back to the chief now and get on with putting an end to all this strangeness of late. That was some impressive shooting, lass. Consider me satisfied. Thank God. I just claim you didn't come this far with luck alone, so I'll place my faith in you and help you find the ore you seek. I forgot I was going to try on this shirt. I'm going to change my job. To dragon. Because it is hideous. 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 He hates it. He hates it so much. Can I get this? Why did it let me get this quest? I'm not 78 as a dragon. Did you know that Clusia is rich in sulfur? Well, it is. We've been mining the stuff since ancient times. And every so often, self-same veins wield what's called Earthseed, a rare ore steeped in magic. Time was, we used to refine Earthseed for this and that, but the technique's been lost. The stuff's still out there to be had, though, provided you know where to look. And no place is sure than the Drugers to well. Problem is, the site's occupied by age-old rivals, the Gogs. Greedy sods claim the place as theirs, refuse to let any other bugger near. Oh, there never was a more odious lot than them Gogs. I could go on forever about those hornless whoresons, but then we'd be here forever, and that won't get us anywhere. What it boils down to is this: if you want the Earth Seed, you've got to deal with the Gogs. Reckon you're up to the challenge? We have friends everywhere. We have dealt with far worse. I'm sure you can find a way to obtain what we need. That's the spirit. Now, to help you find your way, I'll have one of ours go with you. I'll do it. I'll go with them. You, Court? I couldn't help overhearing any of the eaters had flocked to Mount Gold, but I didn't know why. To think the last Lightborn is hiding up there? The fate of Clusia, no, the world, hangs in the balance. If I can be of some help, then I want to do my part. Your zeal is commendable, lad, but this isn't so simple. This here's Court. Young as he is, he's one of the village's finest miners. The lad's got an uncanny sense of where to dig, and his aim with a pickaxe is as true as any dwarf's. But put him in the thick of battle, he couldn't hit the side of a minecart if he was sitting in it. If all he needed to do was dig, he'd be your dwarf, but he's liable to become a sin eater's breakfast before he can even manage a swing. It's true. I'm hopeless in a fight. But I still want to try. Please, please let me go with you. I'll take care of you. You take care of the ore. Oh, thank you so much. I'll try my best not to be a burden. If you want to take Court, far be it for me to stop you. Keep him safe though, will you? We will most assuredly encounter sin eaters along the way. Though with you in our company, they'll be more a spectacle than a concern. The Drugger's tool lies in a cave to the east. I'm ready when you are. If digging we will go. Alright. It seems you have a fair distance covered beyond your guard for Sin Eaters. There we go. Speak of the devils, the one on the left is yours. The one on the right is mine too. Amazing, you two are really strong. It may interest you to know that she's a great hero in the land whence she hails. Some would even say the greatest. Oh, you have some stories to tell, eh? That she does. Tales to impress and inspire you in turn. By all means. Have her regale you with a few once our work is done. Can't wait. Ah, more of them. Whoops. Come on. Shoot. She is a team unto herself and merely followed her lead. Well, it looks like you've been doing this for years to me. Is that so? I shall take that as a compliment. Did I say the wrong thing? Not at all. Your words are most heartening. Indeed, I feel like a young man again. You talk as if you're old. How long have you two known each other anyway? Well... Ah, there's even more of them. Concentrate on the ones coming for court. I will see to the rest. Hurry this way. How much further to the cave? Not far. It's just past this rise. Ah, I believe I see it. Ah, again, it appears we're surrounded. Oh, he did something. Draw them in. 'Tis done. Press on. Right. Wah! Just as we're about to get there. Does that mean the gogs are kind of eaten? One last push, shall we? One last push, shall we? More of them? I agree. Oh. I think not. Court ran away behind a rock. Relive! Relive! Let's hurry inside before more senators come. Right, follow me please. I will take you to the Druger's tour. Where this... I was just thinking that if there was steam, you could just shoot up there, but... Ooh. If the terrain and stench are any indication, we're at the tool. Ah, there. Gods, their ugly, unkept beards. If they realize we're here, they'll come after us. Best to take them down first. Be not so hasty, Korat. The animosity between your two clans notwithstanding, I would not resort to violence unless necessary. I will use an enchantment to render you invisible. It will not fool sin-eaters, but it will suffice to hide you from the eyes of men. While you are thus concealed, do you think you could find us the Earthseed? Aye, I'll dig up the choicest stuff there is. We would be much obliged. Without further ado then. Ha! I can see right through me. Right, digging we will go. Let us not be idle either. Though Kurt cannot be seen, he may still be heard. I would aid him by removing some few gogs from the field. To that end, dream powder. As you may recall, we used it for the rescue mission at Laxam Loft. We used it in Yomar too. Truly, it seems our alchemist got a little carried away with the latest batch. But if it has been used in our endeavors, then I have no cause to complain. Now then, I shall make you invisible as well, that you might steal close to the dwarves, and give them a dose of dream powder. Even should it fail to put them to sleep outright, it should render them drowsy enough to seek their beds. Say the word and I'll cast the enchantment. Ready to begin. Very good. Should the enchantment fade before you finish tending to all the dwarves, return to me and I will cast it anew. If this is sulfur, it would be beyond being able to breathe. Oh, I can barely keep my eyes open. Time to call it a day. So drowsy, not safe to work when drowsy. You better get some rest. Yawn, all work and no ill makes something, and I'm spent. All the doors have taken their leave. Good work, my friend. We have done all that we can. Let us await Koret's return. Back! This is the purest stuff there is. I think is enough. Or shall I go and dig up some more? I dare say it will suffice for our purposes. You have our gratitude, Koret. Let us carry this back to... Are you alright? Worry not, I shall be fine. As long as I have been away from the Crystarium, a little weakness is to be expected. I may have also overexerted myself in the moment. Ah, to have this rare opportunity, yet to be unable to enjoy it to the full. Who goes there? Wah! That's Glag, chief of the Gogs. You're one of the Thalls. I see. Word was our miners were coming back drowsy. One after the next, I immediately suspected foul play. And what should I find here but Thal scum skulking about? It's a spineless act befitting your limp beards. What? I won't stand for that insult. Our beards are soft and luscious and smell like freshly tapped ale. Gog beards are dry, crusty, and smell like a knocker's arse. Impudent whelp, better a hobgoblin's nose hairs than the feeble floppy things you Thals have hanging from your face. Grrr. Like oil and water, this is not like to end of its own accord. Do you perchance have some dream powder left? Enough to put an end to this. Then let us put it to use and be on our way. Though something tells me we've not seen the last of their bickering. What the? Swivel? Snore. Forgive me, Koret, but we need you to be calm as well. I'm sorry, it's just when it comes to the Gogs, I can't help but see red. You needn't apologize, my friend. You are here on our account, and we have naught but gratitude for you. Now that we have what we came for, however, it is time to take our leave. The Talus awaits its heart. Dun, 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 dun. We get espresso. 4:15 espresso. Well, my friend, much as I've enjoyed our time together, I think it's best we split up, though we might accomplish our tasks more swiftly. I shall see the Earth seed safely into the hands of Chinese. While I'm thus employed, would you be so good to deliver court back to Tamra? My thanks. Brief though it was, 'twas an honor to go adventuring with you. I shall see you back in Amity. I'm surprised he's not running to the Crystarium since he obviously needs the crystal to survive. So anyway, the Exarch saw the seed he needs. Good to hear that young Korat was of help. As it happens, a few others came forward while you were gone, saying they wanted to do their bit as well. Given that you're building a Talos, we reckon you'd be needing some mining tools, so we went and modified our spare axes for use by finger poke. Here, take these with you. Should be plenty to go around. From what our scouts tell me, there's a crowd gathered at top rung already. Go and see that everyone has a pickaxe to swing, eh? The music is really loud to me. Hopefully it's not too loud for you. Look, people from all over have come to help us quarry stone. And this isn't even all of them. As we speak, the volunteers Stankard and Reen recruited are being escorted to the worksite, and by both Crystarium and Yomoran soldiers, no less. So as you can see, we have plenty of hands. There's just one problem. We don't have enough tools to put them in. Enough tools to put in them. We've been desperately trying to round up more, but we haven't had much luck so far. What a coincidence! I just brought back pickaxes from the dwarves. Just have exactly what we need, exactly when we need it. Well, what are you waiting for? Go and hand them out to everyone so they can get to work. Hey, Ron. Long time no see, traveler. Are you waiting to be issued a pickaxe too? Oh, you clearly weren't. And now neither are we. Rest assured we will put these to good use and work very, very hard. Of course, one cannot work on an empty stomach, which is why I brought some tasty worms to share. As much as we would all enjoy a treat, perhaps the worms are best saved for afterwards? Greetings, you may not remember me, but I'm one of the carers from the inn at Journey's Head. After a night returned to Amarang, we noticed a change in our patients. The transformation had halted in every one of them. Except... I can't express what it did to the mood of the place. We were still celebrating days later, when who should come along but Alize. She said that she sought the aid of those who believed in the Warrior of Darkness. We all answered her call right there and then. Of course, some few carers had to remain behind, but as many of us came as could be spared. I too have great respect for the Warrior of Darkness. When we meet, I'll be sure to treat them to a nice plump worm. Okay. We've come. In case you're wondering, Guthjohn is here too. Couldn't wait to start breaking rocks, though, so he's gone on ahead. Bah! Could have at least left us a spare set of tools. Wonderful. Now we can be about it too. Quarrying isn't exactly my stock in trade, but this time I feel as though my wife will be with me, guiding my hand. So let's make it happen. Let's build a world where everyone can live without fear, where everyone has a place they can call, where they can go home to. Right then, let's be on our way. What are you still doing here, Thaf? I thought you'd brought your own tools. I did. I was just about to head off when I saw Jarek. Oh god, so this plan works. The giant talus comes to life. Just imagine the size of the trolley it could push. Imagine it. Are you still raving on about that? How many times do I have to tell you? That's not what the talus is for. Where the hells would the tracks even go? It's bound to be somewhere. We just need a little imagination. Seeing as the stoneworks is involved, maybe we could have a trolley added to the design. Enough! I'm going to work. If I hear any more about trolleys from you, I'll have you pushing one yourself. That guy with that box. I'm somewhat concerned for him. Hello. We're ready to do our bit. We just need tools. Pickaxes. Loads of them. 5. I wouldn't say 5 is a load. Now we may all work to our heart's content. Well, I don't have many talents. I do have a strong back. And what strength I have, I'll gladly use for the sake of peace. We got the ladder moving again, didn't we? If we join hands, there's no talus we can't build. I still haven't repaid you and Alphanod for saving me, and I'm not sure I ever could. But that ain't going to stop me trying. I'm with you to the end. Come on, you lot, look lively. My thanks. With that, everyone is now equipped to work. I think I'll go and join the soldiers standing guard over the volunteers. It would be a shame if they fell prey to sin eaters after all the trouble we've gone to. Right. Let us see that this plan is a resounding success, for the sake of all in Norvrot. Well, my friend, it appears we are the only ones left here. If you've no other pressing tasks, would you care to accompany me to Amity? There Ishtola is overseeing those who will imbue the talus with magics. Come, let us join them at once. Ah, Good of you to join us. I'm pleased to say we have gathered ample help from the imbuing. With Master Chai in the process of finalizing his design, I have taken the liberty of dispatching all hands to their positions. You hurtle along as though I have my house in order, but quite frankly, this is the most disorganized mess of a project I've ever overseen, and I haven't spent nearly as much time as I would like on my calculations. So thou hast proclaimed loudly and frequently, Master Chai, yet, from my perspective, a layman's though it may be, haste notwithstanding, thou hast gone to great lengths, abiding by proven methodology to ensure the integrity of thy design. Well, that's just the bare minimum that's expected of us at the Stoneworks. Though our glory days are behind us, I've not forgotten our time-honored traditions. Ah, but I should mention that the Exarch delivered the ore I asked for. Earthseed, I believe you called it. In that quantity, I believe you can fashion a suitable heart for the Talos. And then everything will be in readiness, or so I would like to say. Is there a problem? In a Talos of, well, any reasonable size, a single heart would serve to circulate ether throughout the chassis, but given the unprecedented proportions of that which we seek to build, I doubt that will be the case. By installing smaller peripheral hearts at intervals, I believe we can maintain a stable ether flow, thereby solving the problem. However, we don't have enough ore for this purpose. Not for it, but to procure more, I suppose. Runer, mayhap now is a good time to bring them out. A moment, friends. There is something I would show you. I see. Are these not heartstones? They are. The most prized possession of we of the Knights Blessed, and these belong to our kindred who have left us. Immersed in water, imbued with fervent prayer, these stones harbor no small amount of magic, and we may imbue them with yet more prior to their installation of the Talos. What think you? Being from a different region, these cannot be used for the main heart. The peripheral ones, on the other hand, I believe this will serve. Excellent. Master Matoya spoke to us of the role we are to play. The heartstones immediately came to mind. Of course, before bringing them with me, I made certain to consult my fellows first. After all, the stones bear the precious lives of those who have gone to the Sunless Sea. But we have now beheld the Sunless Sea with our very own eyes, and by the gentle lights that glimmer on high, we know that there is peace beyond it. Thus we are also at peace. If our heartstones may serve to restore night to all the world, gladly do we give them. That's kind of wrong. So, Master Chai, if you could instruct us how to distribute the heartstones? For good luck, may I ask that you imbue one as well? It'll be imbued with light, though. Rest assured, it is not difficult. Simply raise your hand and focus as you would when attuning to an aetherite. Imbue the jade-colored stone here, if you would be so kind. A familiar-looking heartstone appears to glow faintly. That will do, thank you. If this heartstone appears familiar, it is because it belonged to Tadia. It bears the collective hope of the Knights Blessed, the hope that none shall ever again be sacrificed to sin-eaters. Right. I've identified the spots on the tiles where the stones are needed. See that they are amply imbued, then install them as I've indicated on this diagram. Understood. We'll set about the task at once. And when the talus awakens, and the way to Mount Golga secured, we shall sally forth. It promises to be a trying climb, so take what rest you can in the meantime. We will see you soon. A moment, Oranger, you said that you would have measures ready in the event that our friend fails to contain the light. Do you? Be assured that I do. All which I require lieth in this land. I want to know the plan. To my deepest regret, I cannot reveal the plan to thee. In order for it to succeed, 'tis vital that thou remainest ignorant of its nature until the time is right. Yet though I may thus keep my counsel, I know that I have only the safety at heart. That I only have thy safety at heart, so rest easy, my friend, and take such ease as thou mayest, the better to be ready for the trials to come. Sorry. I'm told the rock for the chest is more or less ready, all quarried and shaped and laid out. That just leaves the imbuers to do their work. I'll continue checking my calculations up until the very last moment, but it's only a matter of time now. We managed to rally nigh everyone in Norvrant for this endeavor. That's a remarkable feat in itself, but will it be enough? A woad blue dye, storm blue, and abyssal blue dye. A breath of respite. Gah, there's no point worrying about such things now. I'll get back to my calculations. You, meanwhile, should go and rest as your friends suggested. My wife and the Exarch should be in the tavern. Why don't you join them? Oh, and thank you. My favorite kitty. I'm really close to you. Sorry about that. The Exarch? He went outside a moment ago, my dear. I would have thought you'd have seen him. He kept me company for a short while, but then he came over rather pale. He's clearly been straining himself, the poor thing. Anyway, he excused himself, saying that he needed a breath of fresh air. Weak as he looked, I did offer to go with him. He assured me he would be fine. I do hope he's all right. This music is too energizing. It's not nearby here.
The future is where my destiny awaits. Forgive me, I was Lost in a dream. I needed some fresh air and thought to rest for a moment. It would seem I am more fatigued than I realized. Too much time away from the tower, I fear. It drains me, leaves my body frail and weak. Though, in truth, it is debatable whether I can still call this my body. When first I turned my mind towards the salvation of the world, I came to the conclusion that it would take many long years, many more than remain to me. And so I made myself one with the Crystal Tower, that I might live indefinitely. I am but an extension of it now, hence my weakness the farther I travel, and the longer I am away. It has been quite a journey. But thanks to you, the end is in sight. My wish will finally be fulfilled. How goes the construction effort? Then this may be the last moment we have to ourselves for a while. Come, sit with me.
Do you think he's the ghost we've been talking to?
Tell me, when all of this is over, what will you do? Ah, yes. Even should we succeed in forestalling the 8th Umbral Calamity, the specter of war will remain. But to declare your intent with such easy resolve, you truly are a hero's hero, my friend. But whatever it is you decide to do, I have every confidence that you will do well. For you have the strength to forge your own path. You will leave countless lives better than you found them, and the souls you touch will never forget your kindness. Then, in trying times, when you question your worth and your choices, they will raise their voices to remind you of the difference you have made. And thus will your deeds come to affirm your path. Remember this. When this is over, indeed. I once told you that there are things we can ill afford to lose. Things, I said, though in truth I spoke of a person. One who is unaware of the full extent of my plans. Though she deserves to know, I have good reason to keep my counsel. I have come to terms with this in my mind, yet my heart yearns to lay everything bare. For she is my inspiration, and I would give much and more for the chance to speak with her as friends, with no thought of concealment. Should she indulge me with her tales, I would regale her with my own, about my efforts in Northrend, perhaps. Though, ultimately, that tale is more yours than it is mine. Then, I would ask her about her next adventure, and if she should wish me to be a part of it, oh, how happy it would make me. Together we would travel the lands and cross the seas and take to the skies upon the eternal wind. My heart swells simply to imagine it. But all of this is contingent upon our victory in the coming battle. The people of this world have entrusted their hopes to us. We cannot fail them. nor those who roused me from my slumber. Thank you for your company, my friend. Let us return to Amity.
So he's talking to a she, or about a she. Clearly he's not talking about me. Could he be talking about Minfilia? The original Minfilia? Okay, so what if, like, Minfilia was born over and over and over? What if he just... Maybe he's the Oracle of Darkness, and maybe... Instead of dying over and over, he just avoided death. And so has been living for a really, really long time. But still, he also yearns to be with Minfilia. The only girl we haven't met, it's not going to be Ishtola. It's not going to be Julia. It can only be Minfilia, right? Worry not, my friend. I am much revived for the fresh air and your fine company, of course. Now then, let us turn our thoughts back to the task at hand. He has to be the ghost. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace in the Source... Totally forgot they had stuff going on. Your Radiance, I've taken the liberty of quashing the vile rumors that your heir is possessed by a devil. With the nation in the grip of war, we may rely on patriotic zeal to prevent them from resurfacing. So you like Emmett, and then you remember he's in charge of all this crap. And what of Emmett Silk? He has taken himself to the First to usher that world to its end. Or so I believe. He did not disclose the details of his mission, having ever preferred to work alone. Even to those who have known him since the beginning, his actions can prove unpredictable. I am no stranger to his ways. He joys in playing me for a fool. Full many times have I been convinced I was acting of my own volition only to discover all was as he willed it. My dear grandfather. On the subject of our esteemed colleague, his last report, though brief, did contain one item of interest. You have doubtless wondered why the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have not taken the field of late. It is because they are no longer in the Source. The hero of the Scions has journeyed to the First, as have her comrades, albeit incompletely. Their bodies yet remain here in the Source. This presents us an opportunity. If we can defeat the Alliance prior to the Scions' return, we may eliminate their order at a stroke. And with the Scions gone, none shall remain to thwart our plans. It will be but a matter of striking down the hero upon her homecoming. Which, lest you forget, is essential to the realization of our objective, of both of our objectives. Through Heidelin's meddling, her champions threatened to wrest the reins of fate from our grasp. The world is at risk of being dragged down the false path, one which will never see man reclaim his true form. 'Tis unthinkable that he should supplant us. Incomplete as he is, such a devolution is abhorrent, and it must be stopped before it is too late. The hour is come, your radiance. Order your armies to march once more. Crush all who stand in your way. This is your heart's desire, is it not? To seize a victory that is yours, and yours alone, for the future of Garlemald? Oh dear. You do not wear the mummer's motley well. I was never one to take an interest in tedious conflicts. The whereabouts of my one true friend, however, they interest me greatly. I but hope the beasts of this first are providing her proper sport. I would know every detail, Lord Zenos, or would you rather I called you Elidibus? Unexpected. Most unexpected. That immorality should be within the reach of one with a borrowed echo. Immortality. You have outdone yourself, Zenos, yea, Galvus. I have no particular attachment to that name, but I am rather fond of that body. Without it, I cannot enjoy my hunt to the fullest. Your secrets or my flesh. I care not which you give me first. The choice is yours. Hey! Level 79! Extinguishing the last light. Ooh, I was just barely 79.